Hey everybody, hope you're doing great. It's Neil Twalp with ASIN360 and the Amazon Pro Seller Podcast. We're just getting fired up. So come on in, we're going to get started. Should you cancel your Amazon business this year? That's the question on the table today. Let's get going here in just a minute. All right, guys, as I was just reminding a minute ago, it is 2 after 2 Central Time, or 2 minutes after 3 Eastern, depending upon where you are in the world. Hope you're having a great day today. My name is Neil. I'm with ASIN360.com, Voltage Holdings, and part of our Amazon business, along with SixLeaf.com and another software training and mechanism. We'll talk about that in just a minute. If you're here and you know me, welcome back. If you don't know who I am or what we're doing here, then kind of hang out, and I will give you some of those things as we go through today. Now, as I was just mentioning a minute ago, we're at 910 people. We need to get to 1,000 to give away $1,000, and I'm hoping that that will be you today. So if you guys can help me get to 1,000, we can get to $1,000. I would love to give away some money. I've been trying to give away money for the last month or so, but I'm not spending a ton amount of time growing this channel, although I have spent time growing this channel, and I would like to spend some more time with you folks growing this channel too together, because there's a lot we can do with Amazon as we're heading through the new year. So I hope everybody is doing wonderful out there, wherever you are. Come on in and say hello, and let's get started. I'm going to share my screen here in just a moment, and we are going to do a product hunt. But as we get going, I like to always kind of kick off with updates. Things are happening, and of course, if you can't hear me or see the screen or whatever, please let me know. And I will talk to you about that. Last week, just a quick thing before we get going, I went through what's the 411 on 2021. You could check that out. At the end of this video, it'll be a link to it, or you can go to the channel and check it out as well. And of course, this week, we're going to be talking about should you cancel your Amazon business this year. So one of the reasons why I brought this up, it's kind of fascinating. I don't know if everybody is familiar with what's happening in the U.S. right now, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's got people really impassioned. And there's just so much there's just so much you can do with things and technology and all kinds of fun stuff. And what we're just seeing right now is a lot of people are operating in different beliefs and structures of beliefs around what's happening in the world. And at least here in the United States, I'm finding for sure that many people are questioning technology and the use of it right now. And as a matter of fact, our Facebook account got shut down just about 10 minutes ago, literally, due to all of the negative comments, negative responses, people marking our ads as spam, literally, because of their anger with Amazon right now. They're so angry with Amazon, and I think it's just kind of torqued off both sides of the fence, and definitely, those who are more conservative. I'm not going to get geopolitical because that's not why y'all are here. I just want you to be aware, it has brought up a lot of questions about things, in terms of what we should be doing with business. Since I do a lot of advertising online, I tend to be a bit of a target for that. My ads tend to, get in people's face about, Amazon, and what's happening with Amazon and why they should get involved, or, what they can do to get involved to grow their businesses. And of course, I'm out there a lot, and that means my ads are out there, and, my personal life is out there. And literally since last Sunday, I've gotten so many messages with people who are literally like, cancel Amazon, cancel your business. You should just cancel your business. Why are you even business this year? You're just helping out communism, right? I mean, it's just been fascinating. So that's why I wanted to bring this to your attention. Should you cancel your Amazon business this year? I'm going to leave that up to you. I personally am not going to do that. And, everybody has their own, right to do what they want to do. But let's just go through this process for just a second and kind of answer that question. Because I know there's a number of people who might feel like that's the right answer, and more power to you if you do. If you feel like you need to cancel your business because you know what, Amazon got a lot of flack here over the last 5 days or so when they decided to shut down another business that was writing on their AWS platform that was giving people a voice and a connectivity. And because they shut that down, people are really torqued off with Amazon right now. And so the concept is, maybe we should cancel Amazon. But, it just got me to thinking about canceling things. And I'm thinking around, I'm looking around, I'm like, okay, if I was to cancel a good component of things here that I was doing and my Amazon business and stuff, what would that look like? What would that actually look like? And so I got to thinking about it, and people were really not necessarily giving the rest of this a complete thought. I mean, if you're on an Apple iPhone right now, or a tablet, or if you're on a Samsung or Android device, if you're literally watching this from a desktop, an Apple, a Mac, a Linux, you're going to have to realize that the cancellation of anything you're doing, there's going to be a point where you're like, well, A and B are good for me, but C is not good for me. And so you're going to make a choice in all of that as it goes along. And so, the point here is that not everything needs to be necessarily canceled. And I just thought it was ironic myself personally that people were wanting to cancel my Amazon business, but they were telling me that on Facebook. And I'm like, well, come on, Facebook is like, it's an interesting place. But in terms of canceling it, should you cancel your business? I don't know. That's up to you. Do you feel like, you need to take a stand in that for free speech or whatever reason? More power to you. That's the freedom that I love about where we live in America. That's the freedom that I don't want to take away from anyone else. And I don't feel like we should be taking it from other people. So canceling your business, I don't know. You may want to cancel certain aspects. I'll tell you what, though. We talked about the health niche last week. When you go check out that episode 7, we talked a little bit about opportunities for 2021. What's the 411? And I'm going to continue that through just a little bit today because, you may not cancel Amazon in terms of your entire business. You may decide to cancel your Prime membership or whatever. Like I said, more power to you. That's the freedom we live in. But in terms of business and opportunity, where are we segmenting? Just start thinking about that passion. Right? What is it that's so passionately being driven by these folks? And their right to talk and speech and this kind of stuff, it is a First Amendment right here in the United States. And that's a beautiful thing. And these videos for me are not monetized, so I can kind of say a number of things that I probably wouldn't say if I thought I was going to make money off this video. The end of the result is, these types of videos and topics aren't the most, let's say, interesting to some folks, but as we move forward here, I just wanted you to be thinking about where's that passion coming from and where you, as a business person, might, again, not take advantage of people. Please don't do that, but take opportunity from a passionate market. And I'll tell you right now, and if you're a conservative and you feel passionate about what's going on, and even if you're a moderate or whatever you want to do in terms of political affiliation, I don't really care. If you're just a person who loves America at the end of the day, you want to do right by people, but you also need to make a living. And at the end of the day, can you sell products into certain passionate niches where people are literally looking for that opportunity for those products? And quite honestly, they are. And they are in just absolute craziness. And so there's a huge opportunity for those of you, thinking in that mindset about where you could take your business today. And where, particular products you might be able to get into your business, your brand, or even launch for the first time on Amazon can reach that audience. And they're still buying on Amazon. Make no mistake, not everybody is canceling every piece of technology they have. If that were the case, our economy would come to a screeching halt. And it's certainly not going to happen. But the voices are speaking. And conservative voices have a lot of opportunity for their dollars. And if you're thinking about where you're spending your dollars and what people are buying or what you might even change, does that give you an opportunity to make some money this year? Absolutely. I mean, if you just think about another niche, again, I went into the health niche a little bit last week talking about that. If you just go into more of the, say, survival or packing or prepping or preparedness or even into certain aspects of the gun niche that doesn't obviously sell guns on Amazon. You can't do that. But if you went into that area and you thought about that for a little bit, where is that going to take you? It's going to take you down a whole slew of products that are going to be targeting a potentially passionate niche right now. And those are selling like crazy. So just be thinking about that. And I wanted to bring it up to you guys. The question again was fun. Should you cancel your Amazon business this year? I probably got your attention just a little bit, right? I would say the answer is probably no. And the people who are coming in and are yelling and saying, cancel Amazon, we hate you. I've been seeing us call just about everything you can possibly imagine on our ads lately, from Nazis to communist sympathizers. But if you were to go back and yell at your employer like that, I doubt you'd get very far. If you told them to go in and cancel all their technology, I'm pretty sure you'd get fired, maybe, or your business owner will be like, "What are you talking about? That's insane." So as we're doing some research today, let's be looking into this niche just a little bit. Let's unpack this niche just for a few minutes here, maybe for the next 15 minutes. Let's look in and let's take a peek into the conservative side of maybe the survival, prepping, preparedness, outdoor gear niche in some ways. And I'm unpacking a whole lot of subsets there, a whole lot of niches you guys could drive into in that. But you want to give me some thoughts and some feedback here as we're going along. I really want to get your input on this. I could take it a number of ways myself, of course, but I would love to see you guys give me some input as to where you want to take the product hunt next. So let's go in here and take a look at what's happening. Now, before we do that real quick, let me jump in. Free Amazon brand owners training, FBA training for brand owners who are struggling to get sales and ranking and PPC dialed in. I would encourage you guys to take a look at what we're doing here starting on January 18th. So if you'd like to learn the 5 steps that the top 1% of earners on Amazon use to hack Amazon so they can earn from it until it's time to sell their businesses, and that is you, then listen up, because guys, there's a training coming up on January 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern, where I'm going to host a 5-day training. Some of you have been involved with this. Some of you are students of mine already. Some of you don't have any idea what I'm talking about. If you're trying to look at the rising cost of your Amazon PPC, if you're wanting to launch additional products or have launched products and not seen them turn the way you want to go, if growth has stagnated for you and you've not been able to move past certain barriers and break through those, then this training is going to help you get started down the path of understanding the product research, the validation of the products, market validation and opportunities for your brands or products you've got now, even ranking opportunities for things you might be missing with ranking those products, and of course, how to put that business into a position where it can sell. We're going to cover those costs. We're going to cover those the struggling products. We're going to go over launch strategies. We're going to talk about how you move away from things like retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, and wholesale, and move your products towards FBA and more evergreen products. Then I'm going to help you guys understand how to find a product, get the ROI on that product, know that with 80% confidence it's going to go in the market really well with the product research necessary, and how to position it in the engine to actually get your maximum relevance in your ranking in so it actually takes off and goes really well. It's going to be some secret sauce managed with some stuff and some training. It's going to be done live. That starts next week on the 18th, and you guys are welcome to come check that out, all right? So let's get in here and let's start doing some dive into some products. I see some lists coming in here, so let's go ahead and dig into that. Whoa, let me get my screen reformatted here as we get moving. Okay, all right, we're on our way now, and we are looking at Mylar's blankets and ponchos. It's one example. Fantastic. Okay, I see you, Natalie. Anybody else got any other ideas? We can dive into some of that as well. And I can obviously go in and look at some additional products that we have been just playing around with in terms of concept. You guys might think of some of these. These are a little bit more electronics in terms of the types of products here. But there are some of these, and if you guys hear a chicken in the background, I literally live on a homestead in the middle of 50 acres, and there's chickens and goats and kids, and now they're getting ducks, I think, last heard, and we got geese. We got a regular farm going on out here. So if you hear squawking and chickens in the background, that's me. He's out there giving his love to the girls right now. Rooster, I'm not sure which one it is. I think the girls named one of them El Macho. That's the one that likes to come up here around the house. El Macho, the chicken. All right, so keep shopping. Okay, so let's go look at this real quick. Mylar, blankets, ponchos, etc. Let's just go look for Mylar. And we got bags, balloons, blankets. I think you said blankets. Let's look at blankets real quick. So one of the things we're going to do here, I happen to use Sixleaf, sixleaf.com. You can check it out. It is a fantastic tool set, dashboard, launch mechanisms, tracking mechanisms, ranking features, and of course we got Phoenix, which is what's displaying this information up here right now. On Phoenix, it's displaying the information down here, which is the product research tool, helping for product validation. We got about 400 searches a day, 13,000 a month, not a bad niche. 168 results means you don't have a lot of competition, which is cool. We could get into a decent little product in here immediately. Just, I always like to look at the first page results and just kind of see, is there what feels like a little bit of saturation or too much saturation, potential hyper competition. You know, those are one of the things we're wanting to evaluate as we're taking a look here. And one of the things I can kind of see just at the way that this is presented, although I do like this one, it says don't die in the woods. Okay, that's good. I like the angle on that. Emergency blanket, of course. We've got Mylar. We've got, the thermal 4-packs here. There's a little bit of saturation just at the initial onset of looking at this. Let's go ahead and get 6-leaf. We're going to launch Phoenix here to pull up this data. We're going to look at some of the market trends and nodes and competition. While we're doing that, I'm just going to scroll through here on the bottom. I'm going to look at the different brands. So Emergency Mylar is not really a brand per se, but I do like the way they're kind of using this listing. We can see, 272, 90, 320 in here. Revenues of about 47 on this one, 17,000 on this product. A 10 as a pack of 10 for 1069. Don't like that price point. That's going to hurt when it comes to profitability, especially with Amazon's PPC cost and the rising cost or average cost of sale, which is a metric you want to track within Amazon PPC. And you're going to track that PPC metric very closely if you have a lower profit margin in your product. And we don't like to fight with those low profit margins. And I hope you guys understand that. If you've ever been around one of these video podcasts, you understand we like to go after the higher profit margin products so that cost isn't a major concern of the product. It's just one of the metrics to measure. So they do have products obviously above 25. I see 26. I'm really looking for something that's going to say, could I get into this as a product where there's a decent... Okay, so we're looking at a whole pack of 50 for detox, weight loss, infrared therapy, thermofoil, sauna, blanket. Okay, so interesting. This one's actually coming up. Yeah, can you hear? He's like standing out my window, like screaming. He's not normally around here, but he's driving me nuts. Oh, he's a funny guy. So we're looking at 50 lots, and it really depends. If you can get those at 35 for a 50 pack, there's some decent revenues there. Not extremely. The profit is the interesting part. Well, that one kind of drives my attention because it's at 91,000. There's a lot of growth opportunity for something that's already driving 2,100 in revenue. They're only moving about 59. The lot of 50 and 10 packs. So let's kind of look along here. We're pulling a lot of data, and I got a lot of other things going on with my system. So let me try to pause some of this stuff in the background here because it's probably sucking up some of my bandwidth. And let's see the 6-leaf score. Mylar blankets at 13,000. Let's just look over here and see if there's some trending opportunities with this. This might be, and of course, they're going to think a little bit more of seasonality is definitely going to be a part of this due to the type of blankets they are. Past 12 months. Let's go back to just 5 years, and we're going to see some sort of trend analysis. Yeah, we're going to see trends. Definitely something up with that in June of 2018. Spiking around the holidays. It's going to be a little bit more of a seasonal product, and that kind of makes sense. What you might do, for a Mylar is take it maybe into, again, more the emergency survival area as a component of something, a bundled pack, potentially. Let's see, Sarah is saying backpacks, different things, bug out bags. Yeah, if this were a component of a package, and I don't really see some of that here, let's just go ahead and move this out of the way for just a second. Because we're looking at Mylar blankets specifically by itself. You're going to need to do something like this in order to get into a price point with the potential profitability that's going to meet a requirement where you could actually really get successful. We've got bulk savings. They've got military grade, 12 micron aluminized polyurethane. Like that. What is that? Like, who even understands what that means? Guys, be careful with your language. I get it, but that's really technical. And the average bear isn't going to necessarily, look at this and say, oh, wow, it's micron aluminized polyethylene mylar or polyethylene mylar. Wow, if that's exactly what I was looking for. Most people are going to be like, what is that? You can see that these obviously have Swiss Safe, nice play on the brand name, clever. You can see that they've got more technical than probably I would like to do. They do have a decent, listing at 6.9. That's a decent listing to at least mock up. But I think I'm with you, Sarah. There, Sarah's suggesting that you go for something in more of a combine as opposed to a single product like this. If this was a part, maybe you had, the 10-pack or even a 5-pack as part of a kit. Then here's a first aid kit as an example, but maybe you've got your bug out bag kit. That in the survival niche has a huge opportunity. Let's just look and see maybe if this isn't part of a car emergency kit. Now there's a clever angle, right? Especially during the winter. Not necessarily what we're talking about right now, but let's just see if even the words bug out. We got bug out bag, but let's say Mylar mystery bug out bag. Nope. Let's just go towards blanket. Bug out blanket, bug out blankets. Now we're hitting 1,000 results. And the data pulling is obviously going to be angling a little bit more towards... let's see if we can go more towards the bug out accessories, because that's going to kind of pull together. Now we're at like 6,000 results. So we're kind of pulling together the possibility of a bug out bag kit, a tactical backpack survival bug out bag assault pack with hydration bladder and survival gear, such and such, $72. Yeah, I mean, so the price points are obviously getting a little more sexy. I like that for sure, especially when building a brand, because then I know, obviously, if my cost of goods is still at 35% or lower for the items within that bug out bag, the rucksack, whatever terminology you're going to kind of deploy, you can see that terminology is being doubled up here based on location. Somebody southern, northern, and intent, bug out, rucksack. Then you could see, there's aspects of this where you could put together some pieces. Would you necessarily sell the Mylar bags by themselves just based on what we saw? Probably not, because you're going to be really saturated, right? But again, adding this into a component of, glow sticks, along with a flint, along with potentially a survival tent, along with the Mylar bags, some Band-Aids and wipes like Sarah has said here, maybe some dried foods. Dried foods is a little far to the left because food supply and stuff like that moves you a little bit closer to edibles and consumables, which, we recommend you don't necessarily do. It's not a bad niche to be in. It just creates its own complexity, makes things a little bit more difficult in terms of supply. And so I would recommend maybe we kind of stay away from those consumables, things on the skin or in the mouth. We could obviously put in a little bit of a flint. So you could really kind of put together a package. I see packages are good. They're unique. The competition is going to come from the viability of the product. I mean, these are literally the bags themselves, the things that go in the bag plus the stuff. I mean, even if the product was $200 and something and it was a full package, and I'm coming back to this one again, there's definitely a need for that, right? There's definitely an opportunity for that. Selling the individual products, sure, but selling them again as part of a component, absolutely. And of course, we know as we look immediately that this is a, third-party seller, right? Why do I know that? Because only third-party sellers are silly enough to do this, which doesn't really add anything, by the way, guys. For your buyers, especially on mobile, they don't see those on mobile anyways. And guess what? Mobile is a huge buying component. Of Amazon selling now. Like my wife, she's one of the demographics here. She buys nothing on a desktop anymore. Everything's on mobile, and those things don't really show up on mobile well. Just to give you a heads up, pro tip, make sure you look at your listings on a mobile. All right, if it doesn't look good on a mobile or tablet, you're missing a good component and a major component of Amazon sellers and buyers. Solar power gear, yeah, absolutely. I know there's one in particular, this solar power back, we saw it just a second ago. It's a solar power charger. It's on Google a lot. They are advertising quite crazy. Last I checked, there's a tool I used that had like $400,000 a month in spend for I don't think I actually see it in this. I saw it on one of the listings just a second ago. Maybe it was on the search listing here. It was like a solar charging battery backup device, right? And those are quite a bit. Here it is. Solar power, waterproof battery charger backups, etc. There was one sort of just like this, had a great outdoor video, etc. on YouTube. Absolutely crushing it, man, just blowing that thing up on traffic. And of course, I'm sure they've got an Amazon listing if I remember what they are. So, something like that could be added in. to a bug out bag, deal. No doubt about it. That combination is selling and obviously making money. So let's swing back over here just to this listing for a second. We can see that they're obviously getting purification tablets. Consider that. Hadn't talked about that yet. Survival emergency tent. We're seeing price points here, obviously, that are going to be validated in the market. The marketplace is validated. The uniqueness of the brand is going to be part of how you position the products, of course, and how you position your branding. To just get in there and say, what are some of the differentiators? As we had just mentioned a second ago, at least one of these products I noticed a minute ago, we talked about the battery charger solar power gear, isn't showing up in some of these products. So there's a potential USP or a unique selling angle, a unique selling position that you can take, which is great. And look into some of these bags and really kind of itemize and inventory them, do some research into this niche and find out what really is in demand with people, and really try to get towards that demand and read some of the blogs. And again, guys, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you double the understanding of people, you will double your income. All right. So if you really understand this niche and you're that person, you're going to understand immediately, well, that's dumb. I wouldn't pay money for those three things in that bag because they're not even, worth my time, energy, and effort. That's more for somebody who has no idea what they're doing. Whereby you having some knowledge and education in this, now getting your understanding, are going to look at this and say, hey, this is a great deal. It's really going to hit that passion niche. I could get some blogs and influencers and get those, get that in front of those people. And I use links over at Six Leaf to get my keyword, really situated in there for my ranking and purposes and get my rebates together. This could really hit the market and go really well. There's a lot of opportunity for that. So guys, this whole niche in every product, literally, that's in most of these bags, like here's a premium one, can be sold, right? They can be sold individually. They can be sold as bundles. It really just depends upon, you. It depends upon whether the product's got the profitability. That's a big component of that. I noticed there's some playing on the healing side. They've got a bit of a logo type of badge for the health they made up here. Obviously, we saw the other one that said Swiss First, so they're kind of playing on that Swiss gear. We know about the Swiss Army knives and that kind of stuff. They were playing a little bit off of that. So if you play around with the branding just a bit, you can bring some opportunity to that. Definitely when you get into the profit forecast for a product like this, even at 50,000 in rank in sports and outdoors, there's a lot of opportunity. 13 in first aid sports, doing about 600 in sales on $152 in profit, right? So even if we've got to move, $3 in freight cost, and we got to move, $10 in additional other costs I'm making up at the moment because I don't know what that would look like, but I'm going to expand it just a little bit. Your potential profit per unit is still as high as $139, right? Gross profit of $2,000. So, is this the product that's going to, retire you and make you a bajillionaire? No, but it's a product in a lineup of products in a brand that it could obviously do very well. And that's what the whole point about this, guys, is. I know other people talk about this and say, get that one product, and if it's not making, $50,000 a month, then this isn't a product you want to sell. I see these, I get on the email chains. I listen to this nonsense all the time, right? But for most people, and especially brand owners and owners who are wanting to scale, people that I know that are already selling at $1 million a year and want to go up from there and maybe feel capped or not quite meeting their criteria just yet and want to continue to grow past that point. And clearly anybody who's doing $100 a day right now and hasn't hit $1,000 a day, it's very important for you to understand the difference in opportunity. This product right here, for an example, and I'll make my quick caveat, just because I'm showing you this, just because it has potential profit per unit, just because it has potential gross profit per unit, etc., does not necessarily mean you should sell this product just because it was represented on today's video podcast. Do your diligence. There's my disclaimer. Don't come back and yell at me if you go do this product and for whatever reason it doesn't work. So there you go. Now there's my caveat out of the way. But if you get this product in the garage and you get this to a point where it could be selling, you get it up to a BSR in sports and outdoors of around $50,000. 50,000 in best-selling ranking, which is actually just kind of moderate mid-range. Even if it stays there, guys, you're still making $2,000 a month off this product. That's profit, right? So you have a predictable ROI. You've got profit for time in market. If it costs you $6,000 to get it in the market, you know that within 3 months you're putting off profit of $2,000 a month. And that's just one way, to look for 90 days. Because everything we do is in 1 quarter of business. We teach you in 90 days. Everybody who learns from us understands a 90-day cash flow plan and how to move forward. And if this product can turn over $2,000 a month after 90 days, it will stay there month after month after month after month, right? So you'll have 3 months of time to get this into the market, maybe 1 or 2 months for it to reach its maturity, and then it's a selling opportunity for years to come. And you have a long, profitable opportunity in a niche that you can dive into, right? And so the other thing for you guys to understand about looking at a product here, like we just discovered today, I really like this product for many reasons I'm explaining to you right now, because of its price point and its opportunity. And it's clearly not having to move 1,000 or more units a month, which, guys, by all intents and purposes sounds really sexy. Oh, moving 2,000 units a month of product. But the logistics and management behind all of the operations that occurs does not set you up for the opportunity to work maybe 2 to 3 hours a day on a business. It sets you up to work like 5 to 10 hours a day on a business, right? When you got products that are moving maybe 1 to 2,000 a month, but you have limited connectivity to it in terms of customer support or other logistics or things of that nature, there's caveats to that. Just don't use that as a success metric. What we use as a success metric is, can this product work for daily, weekly, monthly, yearly sales opportunity with minimal amount of work once it's online, and can it just stay there and turn those profits over? And can I find 4 or 5 more of those products where literally now within 6 to 12 months, I have a $10,000, $20,000 a month profitable to my pocket income stream. And that's how you get to be one of the 200,000 people, folks. It's not because you just landed one product and suddenly it's making you $100,000 a year. I don't know why I clicked on that. That was an accident. So I want you guys to be thinking about that. So is this a product that can fit into that? Sure. There's 2 different color variations, navy blue and fluorescent orange. Does one of those work? Does one of them not? What it should do for you today, though, is give you some insight in thinking into this niche, into the possibilities of niches that can hold together these types of products or variations of these types of products, the location within sports, outdoors, fitness, medicine, and first aid kits, and the fact that this is a 6.4 listing, which means it could do better. If you get above 7 or 8, that's going to change the dynamic of this. Obviously, getting your keyword research and stuff done correctly and knowing how to launch this product so you can take this guy on in the market. Let's say he's your competition. You want to beat the crap out of him. Is there an opportunity? For darn sure. Could this make $4,000 or more a month in profit? I don't know why not. I would say at 50,000 BSR, if I'm not mistaken, that's what we were looking at. Yeah, 50,570 here. Every 5 to 10,000 you drop after 50,000 in BSR, you actually add on thousands a month in revenue, sometimes up to tens of thousands a month. So once you get below 50,000 and you see a product of that measure and where it's currently setting like this, I know that the increase in revenue and profitability for this product below 50,000 in BSR becomes exponential. And that's what I want you guys to really understand, because that is an upside opportunity for a product in a niche that is obviously becoming and was very passionate, survival and outdoor and that kind of stuff, but it's becoming even more so as we head into this year. And this should just give you one idea, one niche, one opportunity to keep going. And for those, again, who are listening in the background, if you enjoyed anything I'm talking about today and you want to learn more and you want to come along for the ride, and learn a little bit more in the next 5 steps in a free workshop, I would encourage you who have not come through or not one of my students or whatnot to join at that link I'm putting in down below right now. Come in for one of these free trainings, see what is going on with the rest of this details, and learn the 5 steps to how to get those brands growing a lot farther. We're going to go through. I'm going to work with you to help pick a product, evaluate that product together so you know it's going to be profitable with 80% confidence that when all the numbers work out, and it's time to go to launch, that with us, you guys can see that actually take off really, really fast. I know it happens. I've watched it happen. We just saw it happen again with one of our students, getting over 63,000 in sales in less than 45 days in his new business. And he is super pumped about that, and so are we, because he is well on his way to absolutely crushing it. So guys, again, should you cancel your Amazon businesses this year? I'm going to say no, I don't think you should. And just because under peer pressure or political pressure or whatever else is happening in the marketplace, quite honestly, there is so much more opportunity happening right now for those who are hanging on in the market, growing in the market, launching their products into the markets of e-commerce and specifically Amazon FBA, that you would be really dumb to cancel your business. That's just my word on the street, guys. And as always, and I will remember you, help you remember this as we go through, do not spend time on your Amazon business this week, okay? Spend time on your Amazon business this week so you're not spending time in your job next week. All right, guys, I'll be back again next week. for another podcast. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care. Be safe. Get out there and sell something. All right.